This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. What's up, guys? Welcome to my review of the Innova Champion Firebird. This one is the Sake Bomb stamp, but it is just a basic flat top Champion Firebird, one of the most classic discs out there. It's been around for a long time, and these are in the bags of so many different players. I thought it might be kind of cool to put together a quick review, show what it actually looks like in flight, and just kind of review it like I'd review any other disc. I am kind of working my way back through some older discs that have kind of slipped through the cracks, or discs that have already been out for a while by the time I even started doing reviews, and I thought a Champion Firebird would be a great option for that. This video is brought to you by me and all the people who support me on Patreon. If you like what I do, you want to consider giving me some financial support to keep the ball rolling, help me continue to build this channel, please consider checking me out on patreon.com/discgolfnerd. Let's get into the review of the Sake Bomb Champion Firebird. This one's nice and pearly, and it is super flat. I love this stamp. It's definitely a really cool design. I believe Big Germ made this Sake Bomb logo for Rick, and I think he also made this particular design, if I'm not incorrect. Germ being a talented graphic designer, also man of many talents. Of course, creative commentary and throwing discs and all that other stuff that's somewhat irrelevant for this review. So there's a nice flat top Champion Firebird, super bright day glow plastic. This one's full max weight. It's got a little bit of damage on the outer edge from testing, but not really much. And this thing will take forever to try to break in at all. Like, I really don't see much in the way of like turn coming out in this disc ever, really. You have to really beat it in to get it to start turning at all. So it's going to take a long time as well, with Champion Plastic being one of the most durable blends on the market. This one's also nice and grippy, nice and pearly, really great bright color that grabs the light and really glows out there on the fairway and in the woods, so it's easy to find. Always nice to have that nice day glow plastic, and I really love the pearly look to this particular Champion Plastic. So let's take a look at the rim profile here for anybody who has not actually owned or seen a Firebird much in person. It's got a little bit of a squared, like flat 90-degree edge right on this outer rim here, as you can hopefully see. Right there, it flattens out a little bit. Definitely the defining characteristic for this particular one is that it is bored flat across the top. A lot of people like that for forehand. It just feels a little bit better in your forehand grip to have a nice flat top for your thumb to ride on, rather than it kind of going up onto a dome. Or at least that's the understanding that I have. I really don't throw forehands at all. I had to break out one at my last round out at Buxton. It did not go well. So, yeah, I'm not a big forehand guy, but we'll see James throw a few forehands with this thing a little bit later on. But that's typically what a lot of people use Firebirds for. Let's take a look at it next to this Star Eagle, which is pretty much the only disc I have that's very similar to this Firebird in my collection, to be perfectly honest. This Eagle being a pretty overstable run, it's definitely not as overstable as this Champion Firebird, but it's not flippy by any means. And there they are side by side to give you a little bit of an idea of the differences. I don't really have much else to show you to compare it to be honest. I looked through my inventory. I don't have like a felon or anything like that, unfortunately, so you're going to have to just take a look here and see what you can see. The Firebird and the Eagle look very similar to my eye. The Firebird's just kind of like a little bit enlarged rim, and definitely has more stability. I forget exactly what the flight numbers are on the Firebird typically. Let me look that up real quick. 9, 3, 0, and 4 are your flight numbers on the Firebird. I would say I agree with those, especially on this particular one. One of the most popular models of the Firebird over the last several years has been the Nate Sexton Glow Tour Series Edition Firebirds, and those tend to be a little bit less overstable, so they're a little bit more throwable for the average player. This thing is very, very overstable. The Champion Plastic feels great. It's extremely durable. Well documented here on the channel. It's definitely one of the better plastic types out there, and a lot of players absolutely love their overstable discs to be in plastic like this, because it will hold on to those flight characteristics for a really long period of time before breaking in. So let's talk about the flight of this thing. It goes left. Thank you for watching. No, no, it's really, really overstable. This thing is the quintessential meat hook Firebird that everybody talks about. You know, it's like the ultimate overstable utility disc. You know what this thing is going to do. It wants to get to the ground. It wants to fade. Forehand or backhand, it wants to hook up and get to the ground as fast as possible. If you have the arm speed, you can get it to stay up in the air, but it's always going to drop out strong once it starts to slow down. For me and my lower arm speed, I might tack in a throw or two for me in this video. It goes almost nowhere, and it just wants to get down really quickly. I can throw a mid-range easily farther than this Firebird. Maybe if I like flexed it over perfect with the right wind or something, I could get more of a distance flight out of this thing. But for the most part, I can throw any of my mid-ranges farther than I can pure distance this Firebird. But that's not what you carry a Firebird for. A lot of players will carry it for forehands. They'll carry it for overhand shots, skip shots around the corner, backhand spike hyzers, grenade shots up and over the top of obstacles. It's one of those discs that you want to take the guesswork out of what disc you're using and just play for that aggressive fade, because it's extremely consistent and you know that it's going to behave in that way. There's definitely runs of Firebird that will break in faster, or that will start a little bit less overstable. You could throw a little bit farther and might fly a little closer to this Star Eagle that I showed you guys. But this one is that really classic super meat hook overstable fairway driver, and you always know what it's going to do. So it was really cool to actually go back and test some of these older molds. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these reviews of some of the classic discs that have been out forever, like the Eagle, like the Latitude 64 Fuse, like this Firebird. If you are, let me know. Maybe I can go back and look at some more classic molds that have been out for a long time. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. That is my review on the Innova Champion Firebird Sake Bomb Edition. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everybody who supports me by watching the videos, the likes, the subscribes. All that stuff means a lot to me. And also a huge thank you to everybody who has signed up to support me financially on Patreon. I appreciate you all. I'll check you all very soon. Cheers.